Deuce, this Saints run game, it kind of came to life last week in New England, I think because they really were committed and stuck to it. Didn't really, I guess, pop stat-wise when you looked at average per carry, but in this game really couldn't get any kind of momentum going against the Texans.
Well, you were able to run it. You didn't run it consistently. That was the problem. You didn't run it enough. I mean, because you're right, they're at 100 yards rushing overall. You didn't run it enough, and the problem also, the Saints' problem today, red zone and zero pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, zero pressure, you did not pick it up, and it was almost like, you're just dropping back and just hoping that your guy's open and he can make a play for you. But, I mean, teams are going to – guess what you're going to see for the next 4 weeks? Zero pressure. We want to see whether you have your starting line in there, whether you have 3 backups in there. Doesn't matter. If you can't pick it up, teams are going to do it. And so, you've got to have some routes that get guys open, particularly against zero pressure. I'm going to move a couple of guys. I've got some answers from my quarterback. Even if it's just a quick screen outside, I can't allow teams just to blitz me and not make them pay down the field.
Deuce, there was the big positives. Hey, Saints create their C.J. Stroud's first interception of the season. They end up fumbling the interception, giving it right back to the team. Kind of was a sign of things to come in this game. Just anything that they might have got going. The Saints took 2 steps forward, ended up 3 steps back.
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 halves for that Saints defense. I mean, the first half you were horrendous, almost 300 total yards offense, and so you go back and you look at it. I don't think the Saints gave up, 23, 25 yards rushing in the second half. I mean, and the Texans did whatever they wanted to in the first half, and, you were able to get some sacks. It had been 3 weeks, I think, since anybody had sacked C.J. Stroud. The Saints were able to come up with consistent and constant pressure of him. The problem becomes the penalties, whether it's pass interference, whether it's holding, whether it's a late hit. You hurt yourself numerous times, and then you turned around offensively. You get in the red zone, here's a hold. You get in the red zone, here's another type of penalty. Intentional grounding. Too many times where you're running stuff and guys don't know what it is, and now it's a miscommunication. And so, like I said it earlier, you can run 90 different new plays a week, but it doesn't matter if your guys aren't executing.
And Deuce, big frustrating part to this game. Obviously, total yards for the black and gold, 430 compared to the Texans' 297, but coming up empty 3 times in the red zone, plus 2 missed field goals do not help your offense in this one, and ends up being a huge negative in this loss.
Well, definitely it doesn't help them offensively. I mean, because if you're not in sync and phase all three sides of the ball, then it's going to be a problem. I mean, and the defense can be elite. They were elite for a half, but I mean, now you talk about I won't ding you even too much on the 52-yarder, but you talk about the 29-yarder, man. That's tough. That's tough. If you kick and you make your 2 field goals, this game, you don't even need that. I mean, you don't even need it. All you need is another field goal at the end, and you walk out of here. I mean, but the problem is you're not playing clean. You're not playing clean. The margin of error is not great enough for you to go out there and stink it up in all 3 phases. I mean, 400 yards, that's outstanding. But what did you do in the red zone? What did you do when you got down in the red zone? You couldn't finish drives. And so now instead of you having 35-plus points, you end up with, 13? That's just – you can't win. You can't win in this league.
Penalties ended up hurting the team in the second half as well, Deuce. What do you see now going into a short week on a tough loss? Besides worried about, obviously, some injury concerns, what's this team got to clean up in this short amount of time?
Well, don't hurt yourself. I mean, if you go out there and don't hurt yourself and play clean football, then you give yourself a chance, and that's really all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for, and that's all you can hope for. Give myself a chance to win, and so let's see who's available. Do you get maybe 1 or 2 of your banged-up, injured guys back? There's 3 or 4 that play significantly for you. Do you get 3 or 4 of those guys back? If not, how many did you lose from tonight? And if you did lose anybody, okay, who steps up, who plays for them, and can you go out there and just play clean technique football? I mean, can you play clean technique football? Because basically Thursday, if you win it, then now, you're 4-3 instead of 3-4. So it's going to be tough. I mean, you're playing a Jacksonville team that has looked better of late the last couple of weeks, and they've got a talented quarterback, and they've got some weapons, some things that they can do offensively, but can you do what you're supposed to do from an offensive standpoint, defensive standpoint, and special team-wise? Can you go out there and compete and not hurt yourselves?